What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of the Dota universe? We are back here, of course, at the World Congress Center here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. State of the peach, state of the sweet-ass Dota that we've been experiencing so far. We made it through our first series, gentlemen. Planet Odd taking down Team Secret 2-1. Hi, I'm Dakota, back with you, and I'm sure you noticed we have some awesome new DreamLeague attire here. If you head over to store.dreamhack.com, in about a month's time, you'll be able to get some of this sweet swag both myself and my awesome panel is sporting here. We got Slacks, Cap, and Ben Merlini. Gentlemen, I hope you don't judge me too much for using the word swag there.
It's okay. I kind of feel like we look like Star Trek characters.
Did you see the look that
we're all red shirts?
Dude.
We're all red shirts. We're all going to die soon.
Oh, God. It's not looking good for us.
This is the mission from
Welcome
hell.
to Starship DreamLeague.
How's things going on the bridge there, Lieutenant Merlini?
I don't know anything about Star Trek. I was distracted by Cap gave some
Captain Wu.
He gave his look.
Captain Wu!
You were like modeling the DreamLeague thing, and you were like giving the camera
That's
the look.
just how I
the
look
Zoolander
always,
look.
Ben. It's not a
I've seen it.
specific look. It's just who I am.
The look.
He's always been a model. Come on. You don't get that kind of haircut by being a normal citizen. It's always fashion with this kid.
Yeah, I'm sure we enjoyed the 5-minute break of Cap staring at everybody at home for a solid straight 5 minutes. Always very intense.
I had to follow up like Slacks doing his like mock phone call and like doing a bunch of like creative things. I was like, I'm just going to stare at the camera.
All right.
I was gonna stare at him. He's just gonna have to deal with me staring at him. That's how it works, this DreamLeague content potential. Guys, we got Vega versus Team Secret coming up for a second series. I know it's already feeling like it's been a long day already due to some unfortunate technical issues, but we're getting right back in the Dota action here. So let's break this one down a bit. Vega and Liquid. Vega, of course, being the team that people are probably a little bit more question marked over than all these other teams. We haven't seen them in a while. We know they're not going to TI. They probably have popped up here and there. I already mentioned earlier today at Starladder China, they made a brief appearance, but you know, Slacks, you had, again, a front row seat to be able to watch this team be able to move through the league and even push past Virtus Pro.
Yes.
Any expectations on what we're going to be seeing from Vega now as opposed to what we saw back then?
Well, you know, it's a big question. There's been a lot of time since before. They fought valiantly against many in this tournament. Their biggest opposition, of course, was VP, who they handedly survived against. So, I don't know what to expect. I feel like they could be anything. What I do know, though, is that a shark beats water by living in it. It eats water, so looking pretty bad for Liquid.
Because it's a water horse.
Pass the capitalist.
And that's a pass,
Excellent.
official pass. As
The
host,
first pass of the tournament.
I will award this pass and pass it to the next
you.
person, please.
I think that like Team Liquid, they're going to this. They're probably. I mean, I would say right now they're probably one of the top 4 teams in the world. I think they have a very clear advantage over Vega Squadron, but who knows? Like again, it's a question of like, what does Liquid really want to show here? What is Vega Squadron like? What is? Are they super motivated to be able to end their season? Because I was talking about this earlier. There's only really like 2 teams that can end this whole entire Dota season on a win, right? The TI winning team, and the DreamLeague winning team potentially.
They don't get points,
so
unfortunately.
That's a pretty exclusive club. You could be like Vega Squadron and the TI winners. You'd be like, I ended my season on a win. How about that?
2018 looking pretty good already. Ben, I don't know how much you've had experience of being able to watch Vega. You were there at Starladder. I remember distinctly some big Sayoma Rubik plays and such, but anything in particular you're looking to see from Vega, hopefully?
Not disbanding, I suppose. I think as when these teams
don't.
Well, okay, most importantly, they didn't make TI. Okay, that's a big disappointment for every single team out there. And you mentioned that they can make it past the season with a win, but you can't lose TI if you don't go to TI, right? So that's always a big question mark, especially with the luck that you guys have had this season. It's like, oh man, what's gonna happen? Are they actually gonna come? But they stuck together. They've been, I guess, the second-tier CIS squad after Virtus Pro for a prolonged period of time. And I think when they did beat Virtus Pro was still, this was a while back when Virtus Pro was not looking as good.
Well, guys, we actually have a Vega top 5. Let's remind everyone why Vega are a threat and to be worried about. Let's check out their league action.
it looks like it's going to be pretty tough to actually contest it.
Afterlife is going to head in. We'll see if we can go for any sort of fishing.
Oh,
He managed to pick up the Aegis. Afterlife snatches the Aegis straight out of the claws of Na'Vi.
Roshan has fallen to the dire.
And here we go. Straight in looking for Matuma Man. Tornado and EMP to follow through. GH tried to jump in to help out the team. The dust is out. Shaman the Slayer comes in with the crush, but the Repeller Matuma will save him. They've got the telekinesis and duel onto the Omni Knight. The swap save attempted by Matuma Man, but the combo flies through from the Invoker. That's going to be Matuma Man and Mind Control out. Chaotic Offering has been dropped, but with the freezing field as well from Silent, forcing Liquid back. They've lost 4, and he is almost certainly not going to make his way out of it. They've got the lockdown with the telekinesis. Vega Squadron will find themselves the team wipe. GG's called. It is much too much. Skylark, he's in a bit of trouble here. Will use the Roar to hold him back. They're going in, but they immediately just that Solar Crest evasion, making sure the follow damage isn't there in straight away. He'll pot the BKB alert up. The vacuum wall comes through onto 3, 2 down on Mouse Sports, and they're ready to chase down for more here, Vega Squadron. Iloa does eyeing up Skylark, the Nether Strike from Shaman the Slayer, controlling the Beastmaster, and the charge straight onto Madara, making sure that there's no TP out, and it's a full 5-man team wipe. Quick turn around with the Frostbite, a hook shot across from Shaman the Slayer, lays down the cogs. There's the jump in from Mitch, and he actually gets the black hole. He's got 2. I don't think they can cancel this. They can't with the BKB out. They'll get the clockwork kill. They'll find Afterlife again. There's a second pick off for them. Now G jumping in, trying to down, but the Chaotic Offering stun, holding G back. He will end up finishing off one of them. Uman's ticking down very low. He'll get the slow onto Gogi, but LeBron, he's there with the Burrow Strike. He holds G back. G, oh, the Mana Void from Aloha at the end of the day. 4,000.
3,700 damage coming out from the CM freezing field. Dominant laning phase.
Aloha just going to jump into this. He wants to go in. The backup is there for the rest of his team. Afterlife gets the 3-man vacuum wall into the Static Storm.
Into the root.
The 4-man overgrowth as well for Shaman to follow up. They've lost the Lina. Mitch will be taken down to death. Make that potentially more Silent. Oh, he's kept alive. It looked like Elements might have been able to kill the Disruptor.
Rock it on.
That was Vega, top 5 highlighted moments from their Dream League Season 7 run, and now they have secured their spot here at the playoffs. And well, their first test is not going to be an easy one, going up against TI contenders Team Liquid, who are looking at one of the best teams in all of the world right now. So back here at the Dream League Enterprise, so Slacks, based on the playstyle that Vega are presenting there, I can't help but be a little concerned. Is this even going to be a patch form? We know G to be a Dragon Knight, Shadow Fiend player. We've seen them play a lot of Abaddon, and I haven't seen like much action from most of these kind of heroes. Is this going to be even a patch for Vega?
Damn it, Dakota. I'm a panelist, not an analyst.
Back in the day, G used to be one of the
Pass.
And capitalism.
Back in the day, G used to be one of the best like puck quap mids. Like that was when he was one of the best mids in the world at the time. So you look at the squad and it looks pretty good. Like Sioma has consistently led many teams to pretty strong showings in the CIS region. I think you've got both G, who is like a veteran and one hell of a talent in himself, but you also have Aloha Dan, who I think is one of the younger talents of the CIS region that I think has a very bright future ahead of him. So you've got a lot of talent there. It just seemed like they couldn't quite make it work for this season. And maybe it is a bit of the patch, even if some of the heroes are there available for G. It's not I think like G would prefer to have some of these supporting heroes out of his lane, I'm interested to see Spirit Breaker. I think Sioma, that's like been one of his heroes for the longest time, right? Yeah. And we talked about how those 4-position heroes, Spirit Breaker has been kind of like the newest up-and-comer when it comes to the top bans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, overall, people still getting the impression that this is a 4-position kind of a meta, and the door kind of revolves around if it's going to be a high-tempo 4-position kind of a meta or a maybe slower rolling one. But Ben, now on the other side, we have Liquid. Probably expect that this is going to be, for most people, like, oh, this should be a 2-0 by Liquid. But as we saw in the last series, you really don't know what to expect. So is there any shortcomings from Liquid that maybe a team like Vega could be able to take advantage of and suddenly walk away with a surprise win?
I think it's more, I'm viewing it more in the eyes of how far can they experiment before they actually have to realistic possibility of dropping a easy series to Vega. I would say this is pretty straightforward for Liquid. They could go in with their hardcore Wisp strategies and just roll them over, or they might want to see what else hasn't been explored in the patch, like we saw Team Secret did in the last matchup.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how experimental Liquid can be as a team. I think of Kuro, and you look at him as more of a straight shooter, like he kind of just maybe wants to get the win, but I'll be curious to see if he's going to be like working in the lab at all. But we do have a Liquid top 3. Let's check out some of their top performances from their DreamLeague run.
Mid laners worth noting as well. Denti still very much winning in terms of CS, and in fact, they're looking to dive here onto Miracle. They'll turn around with the Cold Snap and the Sunstrike. Disconnect onto Denti, but he turns Dragon Slaves, bringing Miracle down low. Suneko's going to look to dive, chase down for the kill. Has the vision, one more mana void, but again, the infused raindrops saving Miracle's life and pop down the ice wall. And in fact, he's going to get himself away, and he might just turn and try and pick up the kill, and he does straight away. Thug, again, with the Zippin. Gets the silence through, Madara jumps in, but there's going to be the force back from Miracle up to the high ground. Matumba drops the Chrono. He's caught 3 of them, turning towards his first target and brings down Thug. Thug's now out for 85 seconds. The vacuum into the Deathling Blast is there, and it will finally be GG as MNT spams the crash and burn in the chat to seal the deal.
R2 had some very nice... Oh, he actually gets the Rampage at the end of it, too.
Only held back by the Frostbite, but he's being healed up by GH. So hard to go on. Puppey heading forward, being repelled. They do get a nice 4-man Dream Coil, but straight into the snowball. They snowball out of the Dream Coil. That's some clever stuff there from Kuro. Punch, uppercut, straight onto Puppey. They get the 4-man vacuum. Kuroki trying to get himself up to the high ground. Ice Path will catch him, and they'll get
the relocate.
GH relocate. He saved him. He took Kuro out of the fight at literally the last millisecond, and now Liquid, they're ready to jump back in. Yapzor surrounded by the 3 of them. The Dragon's out and down. They've lost 2 on Secret, allowing Miracle to close the gap and clobber him in with his big stony claws.
There we see Liquid with some of their best moments from DreamLeague Season 7. Slacks, are they the best team here, you think, of the 4?
Beam me up, Mr. Dakota. Beam me up to this team. I love this damn team. Every single time I see him, I get more and more excited. DreamLeague is one of the only places where you're going to be able to see GH on his Wisp. And people forget about that stuff. You can't let it happen, baby. He's a freaking madman. So, yes, we're going to see a lot of action from this team. We're going to see a lot of wins from this team. I got my hopes very high up for these bad boys.
It's rare to see like the newcomers to the competitive scene. It's rare to see supports, right? If you looked at the average age group of all the TI players, it was like the 4 and 5 positions who were like the oldest players, right? No, all the youngest players are sitting in the mid, but here you have GH, who's managed to make his name for himself on the pubs, playing purely like just supports, just playing heroes like Wisp. That's pretty impressive. He's managed to adapt pretty well into Liquid. I think that, earlier on in the season, Liquid had a hard time I think Kuro had to mold these players. If you look at them, they're all relatively new to the competitive scene. Every single one of them is like, only 1 or 2 years into real, top tier pro Dota. And you've also got a lot of individual talent there. So I think it's just been a question of, getting these players, how to work these players in these 9K cores together, and who's got the farm priority in certain games.
You don't want too many cooks. You don't want that whole thing
going.
I mean,
if you look at it, right, every single one of those players is like top level, so they probably feel like, I need my farm. I don't create space for someone else. You create space for me.
Well, let's see how these top level players are going to be matching up against Vega, and let's see how their face-to-face looks here in this video.
What do I expect from my team this event? I expect nothing less but a victory, flawless victory. Our team strength is that we're very versatile in what we do, and we have a high personal skill level.
I guess we are a bit in better position right now, just because we're not going on TI. We have basically nothing to lose, and we're just chilling. Play better and show what we actually can, not the way we played on the TI qualifiers 1 month ago.
Well, according to that stare down, I think Matumamem lost. I think he lost 2 of 1 right there. I would give props to G on that stare down win. But yeah, so we have high-level players, as they say, taking on the players with nothing to lose. Vega versus Liquid.
Merlini, are you there?
Hello. Is that what you do?
I think so. I watched Star Wars because I have friends.
Even Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh, I didn't watch Star Trek. I have friends. Anyway, so do you think there's a harder team to ban against than Team Liquid? I mean, it seems like they have so many good heroes to their squad. You can't let them have the Lycan, you can't let them have the Wisp, you can't let them have a bunch of stuff.
It was a while ago, though. I think, what was it, Epicenter that they won? And then we haven't seen them play much since then. It was like Wisp, Bristle, also that you needed to, or Bristle, I would say in particular. But now Bristle's kind of fallen off, so maybe not as difficult now. And maybe they're going to be more experimental. Does it even matter what you ban versus them?
Oh, that's some meta stuff. I don't know.
Maybe don't ban anything at all.
Yeah.
Oh!
Next level.
Hey, look at that. It's the Pokemon. This Charizard.
It's the wrong game.
Okay. Is it, though? Is Pokemon not just a dumbed-down version of Dota? You have characters that have specific spells that fight. It's just an RPG Dota.
There are direct counters that happen.
We're not afraid. This is DreamHack.
It's 5v5 Pokemon battle, really.
That's right. There's a lot of games here. Dakota.
All right,
You should be welcoming.
Then who's the Pokemon master of Dota? Who's the Ash Ketchum there,
I believe
Slacks?
Gabe Newell has caught us all in his web of deceit.
Pokemon's so expensive, man.
Help.
Gotta catch all the Arcanas.
Gotta catch all the wallets. Okay, anyway. Oh, there's Kuro. What a nice boy.
Gabe is actually the Professor Oak. He's the one that you like. He gives you that initial Pokemon, that initial hit.
Yeah.
Here's your
He sucks you into the whole entire world.
your battle pass, aka Pokedex. Now collect everything inside.
Are you a boy or a girl? I don't care.
What's your name?
Give me your money.
Do you have money?
Oh, we love you. Okay, anyway. So these two teams, I've talked a lot up about Liquid. I feel like, they have this kind of advantage where they're kind of really on fire right now. But then again,
Yeah, talk down about Liquid.
they
all right?
suck. I mean, let's be real.
All right.
They're goddamn garbage. So let's see that Vega victory. Thank
So they're
you,
good
Dakota.
yet not. All right.
I think the way they could lose is getting too greedy on their cores and having
Yeah.
Mega Squadron just play like a Spirit Breaker and just play like that forward position that can be really disruptive. Start getting some of those laning phase kills. If you look at some of the heroes that they like to run, they sometimes like some pretty cancerous heroes. Some heroes that are really annoying to lane against. One of them, like Safe Lane Venomancer, for example.
Oh yeah.
That's really obnoxious.
Oh.
A little bit different to deal with.
Ooh. Sounds like some Star Trek fans. Safe Lane Veno. Ooh.
We were joking a lot during MDL when Veno was popular, and you saw Viper there, and what Jack was calling
Hey!
it as.
Humans. Hello.
There's people out there watching this stuff.
Star
It's
Trek
crazy.
fans.
Make some kind of weird symbol, guys.
What's up, Pokemon fans?
Yeah, raise it in the air, Pokemon fans.
Put a W if you're a Star Wars fan, and a T.
All right, they don't want to be on camera anymore. Okay, she did. Okay, thank you. Okay, move the camera then.
Back to the other awkward
Okay,
ones
yeah,
on
well-
stage. It's only awkward when you make it awkward,
It's
Slacks.
not awkward at all. Everyone's having a great time. Video games. So what were we talking about?
Vega, urging the idea of Vega going more on the device side of things, more of the ramping up the tempo. If Liquid are to kind of get almost full of themselves, like we're so good, let's get our great heroes and let's just bulk up to crush them later, maybe Vega can pull out something that's just all-out aggressive, hits them hard in the laning phase, and they really have no potential to kind of be a problem later on. That seems like the common theme, but again, Vega's just a team that's been in the dark now for how long? I don't know if they've been scrimming. I don't know if they have, secret Veno strats or some sort of, great back pocket Sand King that we don't normally see from them. But now that Sand King is such a great pick, maybe they have a great Sand King. I don't know.
I mean, it's a team that learns a lot. I have seen several times. I mean, it seems like every battle that they're in, they gain a little bit more and more experience, causing an evolution of their play style. I mean, overall, this team is hot. They're like fiery dragons that grew from tiny little salamanders.
Except they're water sharks, Slacks.
I was,
Complete opposite, actually.
you didn't catch on to the metaphor, but it was there.
You were trying to go for
So what, the
Charizard.
TIS qualifiers was someone holding B when they tried to evolve?
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Indeed.
Just their growth got stunted?
The trade link like fell off, so they evolved it.
You know, Ash never grew Pikachu because he loved him the way he was, and that's how
true.
Vega is.
So Vega's just a Pikachu that is yet to evolve. You know, they're feeling like they could be the best Pikachu.
They don't have to evolve, okay? They're perfect the way they are.
So then what would Liquid be if they were a Pokemon?
God, kill me.
You started this.
I didn't start this.
It's something that sucks in the beginning, but grows into something that's really good later on. That just, goes through
Magikarp.
several yay!
Oh,
there's
my
a good one. Magikarp.
Yeah, apparently
it's also a water
Slowpoke
Pokemon,
also.
so that works.
Slowpoke,
Magikarp.
I'm hearing, is also a potential Pokemon that they are, as we're
Slow-
trying to get into the draft here. Could be one, but
Wow, Slowbro was a pretty hyped Pokemon.
don't do this. Don't do this. Please don't go down this road.
Okay. Hey, look, there's Miracle. Talking about Invoker bans. We saw so much of that. Is he smiling? What is this? Oh my god.
We can talk about Miracle. This was considered by someone in the East the new Emperor. He was the 9K god. Now overshadowed as we have not one but two 10Ks stepping up.
Oh, what happened to you, buddy?
This is what happens to every mid laner, right? They seem to take this next step. They're the next new thing, and then people just kind of like study what they do as a mid laner, like how they win their lanes, how what do they do, how do they rotate, like what is their farming pattern, and then other people catch up, and then they figure something out.
So it might be good
we've
for
never had
Miracle.
the same player, for example, from an MMR perspective, go from like the 7K lead to the 8K lead to the 9K lead to the 10K lead. It's always someone new, right?
So it might almost work out to the benefit if people are not watching Miracle as close as they used to. He might be able to pull out some stuff that we're either used to seeing of old Miracle or maybe just some completely new stuff too. It's kind of nice when a pro player is not under the magnifying glass of all other pubs out there. Everyone probably lately watching a lot of Bed, a lot of Mid One, a lot of Secret, Liquid, and stuff like that.
Sometimes when you're a really rare and valuable player, it's good to lay low in the tall grass for a little bit. Stay out of sight, and,
Like you, yeah.
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 Thank you.
I could use some repel right now for slacks.
Oh boy, I sure do love this game. Dota 2. Hey, look at